What's up, everyone? This is Drake, running real estate here on YouTube. We are in Fayetteville, Arkansas, outside of the Eaton Street property. This is the property that we purchased in tandem with the Loxley property that we've been making a lot of content on. And it's a very exciting day because we created a win-win situation for us and some good friends. Chip, we purchased this property for $115. We decided to sell it without really touching it, holding it for about 60 days. And we sold it today for $190,000. We sold it to some good friends who are also heavily involved in the contracting world, looking to get into flips within their business. And we know that they're going to be able to flip the property for less money into it than it maybe would have cost us just because of some of their connections in the business. So win-win for everybody. Chip, if you want to talk about the decision that we made to sell this property and walk away with about $70,000 versus flipping it ourselves.
Yeah, so again, like Drake had mentioned, we bought this in tandem with Loxley, so we had to buy two properties in order to access either one. In doing so, we made the decision to fund the entire deal through cash. So that's been very intensive for Drake and myself and our other partner. Ultimately, looking at it, what we decided when we originally purchased the property was to do one flip, sell that property, take the cash from that flip, and then use it for this property. So the time frame there is about 3 to 4 months per property. So we were looking at closing in January of this year for the two properties, and then getting completely out of both deals around September, October of this year. So for us, we ultimately decided to sell this when we were able to connect with some of our good friends that are going to be able to flip this property themselves. They are contractors here in Fayetteville and really Northwest Arkansas in general. And for them, it's a win-win situation. They have the experience, they have the ability to flip this property with a far lower cost than we could have done it. So they will have an opportunity to make a profit that we could have made, but it would have been a additional 4 to 5 month process. So we ultimately decided to sell the property. We took a slight reduction in what we estimated originally when we bought both properties. We originally purchased this property for $115,000. We estimated $115,000 for the remodel itself. Total cost at $230,000. Then you got to factor in holding costs. You got to factor in title fees. You got to factor in paying realtors to sell it. So ultimately, we're losing about $10,000 to $15,000. But for us, we were okay with that because we understood the time equity as well. And it creates that opportunity.
Exactly. We're able to help out some friends, which is always awesome. And they got their hands on a great property in East Fayetteville for under $200,000.
Yeah.
And if you look at price per square foot, it's a very good deal for them. So they're going to do very well, and we're excited to watch it. In this neighborhood, there's a lot of renovated homes that have sold for over $200 to $215 per square foot. So for them to get this at around $115, $120 per foot, they're going to have a lot of room to create a good profit. So now we're going to step into the property. I'm going to show you kind of what we were dealing with, and then we will go from there. You're about to see what we would have been up against. We estimated $115,000 to renovate this property. I'll run through the numbers again if you didn't catch it for why we decided to not wholesale, but sell the property to some investors without really doing anything to it as opposed to flipping. So let's step inside, and I think you'll pick up pretty quickly on why this might have been more than we wanted to handle. When we first visited this property, we noticed that there were newspapers on the counters, and let me check the date. Looking at Thursday, May 2nd, 2013. So, gosh, it's 2023. Almost 10 years old. The property has been vacant since 2014 is what we hear. The utilities have not been put on. As far as the structure, it's in pretty decent shape. You can see the kitchen behind me. Oh, windy. You can see the kitchen behind me. It's a nice layout for a kitchen. But yeah, we're not going to show too much of the property. Just wanted to step inside of it and reiterate the numbers behind the deal. So if you'll hang with me, I think this will be some good value. So like Chip was saying, we bought the property for $115,000. We determined that it would cost $115,000 of cash injected into the property to get it up to a standard that we think we could sell it at for about $330,000, $335,000. That means that we would spend about $115,000 more to make a return on that money of an $80,000 profit. Or we could not inject any more cash into this project, sell it to our friends who are very capable contractors that can make their own profit with some of their discounted labor and their connections in the business. And so we sold it to them for $190. $190 was the perfect price because it was, in our opinion, less than we would get if we would have just listed it on market. We think we could have got it around $200, $205. So they got a discount at $190. At $190, we were able to walk away with about $70,000 profit after fees. So we left about $10,000 on the table, but we didn't have to spend any money or inject any more cash into the deal. So it was very fair for everyone involved. I think everyone's walking away very happy. And this video is just to show you an example of a creative way that you can enter and exit a real estate deal. It's always good to leave your options open, and it definitely helps when you have connections in the business to create opportunities for friends. So very pumped to sell this one today. Looking forward to Loxley being finished soon. We're gonna have some more update videos on what that completed progress looks like. Again, my name is Drake. I work primarily here in Northwest Arkansas. If you know of anybody that is looking to buy or sell a property, we'd be happy to work with them. But then also, if you come across anything that looks like this, that definitely needs some elbow grease and some love, we'd definitely appreciate a referral to that seller and see if we can make something happen and improve the community. Thank you guys for joining another episode of Running Real Estate. I'm out.